Here's what's happening now. Fall snuck in the door just after 10 o'clock this morning, but did you even notice with these heat index readings near 90? We'll show you the big changes coming up. Rod?
From murder scene to memorial, the Green family home is transformed. The father charged in the murders in court. All of that ahead.
All right, Rod, plus we are hearing about a new massive data breach involving 500 million accounts, what you need to know. And she had a meltdown over her son's birthday cake in a local Kroger. A judge decides her punishment today.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
First at 4, a father is officially charged in the murders of 4 children in Dearborn Heights. And the details of this crime gets even more disturbing. Gregory Green is accused of killing 4 children from ages 4 to 19 years old. He's now accused of torturing their mother, who survived the attack. He was denied bond. Local 4's Rod Maloney was in court today. And Rod, this story just gets worse and worse the more information we learn.
Karen, you know, we talked about that yesterday, but it's gotten even worse today. It's so difficult to wrap your arms or your brain around the evil that was perpetrated in this house on Tuesday night. The story goes now that a father is so angry at receiving divorce papers, he slaughtered his children as a way to torture their mother. 49-year-old Gregory Vincente Green wore a very tight-fitting orange jumpsuit as he waddled into court this morning. Barefoot and chained hand and foot, he could barely move. He sat quietly at the defense table alone, no attorney present. He only said when asked about bond that he didn't deserve any. This after prosecutors charged him with murder, torture, felony firearms, and motioned the judge to add habitual offender status. The most troubling new fact today, the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office said Faith Green is alive only because her husband Gregory deliberately kept her alive to suffer. He forced her to watch as he shot her 2 oldest children, Chadney, age 19, and Kara, age 17, right in front of her.
I just felt like everything was taken away from me.
And this man, Chadney Allen Sr. of Detroit, is Kara and Chadney's father. He and Faith divorced years ago. Today he spoke with Local 4 News.
Yeah, I'm just, I could visualize that they needed me, They were calling me. My heart hurts just to think about it, visualize it all, and it's just, that's evil, man, And I just don't understand, because they were good, man.
Chadney Allen Sr. had an awful lot to tell us today. We met him yesterday, and he was sobbing his eyes out, so sad and disconsolate that he could not talk then, but he did speak with us today. And we're going to hear more from him on Local 4 News about his children and his thoughts about his ex-wife, Faith. Back to you.
Rod, it's so difficult to do these interviews, as you know, and you're learning more and more information, and then you have to see the pain through a parent's eyes as all of these horrible, gruesome details come out.
Yeah. Karen, there is so much coming in on this situation that it's hard to even keep track of it all. But one of the really terrifying thoughts about all of this is that the torture of Faith, the mom, and the children being shot in front of her, we've just found out that the children were shot multiple times in front of her in the basement of this home.
Oh, very disturbing. All right. Rod Maloney, we'll check back with you a little bit later on Local 4 News at 5 and 6. Meantime, the all clear has been given at Detroit Police Department's 5th Precinct after someone walked into the building with a grenade. We are told the man meant no harm when he brought that grenade into the precinct and wanted to simply just turn it into authorities out of precaution. All officers were evacuated out of the building. The bomb squad has since cleared the scene and officers have been allowed back in. A Detroit man is now charged in connection with a high-speed chase that ended in a deadly crash. Police say 33-year-old Eric Turnipseed was driving Tuesday night and led police on that chase. It ended in Wyandotte. During the chase, his car actually ran off the road, slammed into a sign, killing the lone passenger in the car. He is now charged with second-degree murder. Okay, do you remember the Bloomfield Township woman who drop-kicked her son's birthday cake at a Kroger store? Well, she was sentenced today for that infamous incident. This court video is actually from another case at an ice cream parlor. It has been a rough few months for Tricia Ann Cordes. After the Kroger incident, workers at Ray's Ice Cream Parlor over in Royal Oak recognized her in this video. She's also facing charges in that case. Today, Cordes was sentenced in that Kroger cake incident to 12 months probation, 38 days of community services, $1,400 in fines, and yes, she does have to go to anger management counseling. Time now for our first look at the forecast, and typically, Ben, you're not out on the patio, but you know what? If we're going to spend fall this way, we might as well send you out there and enjoy that beautiful weather.
You know what? There's room for all of us out here, Karen. Just kind of chilling out here on the patio. Apparently, we don't have any steaks or burgers on the grill. Maybe we can fix that later, but you may want to do that tonight. Look at these temperatures. Low and mid 80s out there all across the area. 85 degrees at Metro Airport. There's enough humidity to put that heat index just slightly higher, so not our typically crisp fall air. Would call it faux fall, and it's going to be sticking around tonight, but it's going to be going away pretty quickly. We'll look at the big changes for the weekend and what next week holds, all in just a few minutes. Karen?
All right, we're looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Ben. Meantime, because of this, a state of emergency has been declared in Charlotte after 2 straight nights of violent protests. Devin is in the newsroom with the latest, and so far police have refused to release video that shows the shooting death of Keith Lamont Scott, and that has many people very angered.
In fact, Karen, last night demonstrators in Charlotte clashed with police armed in riot gear as that demand was growing for the dash cam video that shows Scott's death to be released. Well, the Charlotte police chief said today he will only be showing that video to Scott's family. Following last night's violence this morning, the National Guard arrived in Charlotte. They'll be there to help police keep order on the streets after 2 days of looting and public unrest. U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch called for the violent protests to stop and said the Department of Justice is sending support to local officials.
Today, the Department of Justice is sending 4 members of our Community Relations Service to Charlotte. Our Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services has also offered technical assistance and support for crowd mediation to local police. And the local FBI office stands ready to assist local law enforcement as well.
So again, as of now, the police chief says they will not be releasing the video to the public. They did say today the video does not show, and this is a quote, absolute definitive visual evidence that Scott pointed a gun at police, as has been suggested or alleged. So Karen, all eyes again will be on Charlotte tonight as the National Guard tries to keep peace along with the local police there. Back to you.
Obviously hoping for a peaceful night. Yep. Thank you, Devin. Michigan and Ohio are both key battleground states in the race for president, and Chelsea Clinton is storming through both today. She started the day campaigning for her mother, Democrat Hillary Clinton, at the University of Toledo. Chelsea Clinton is in Grand Rapids right now and will be in East Lansing tonight. Armara McDonald is also in East Lansing to cover Clinton's visit to Michigan State. She will have a one-on-one interview with Chelsea Clinton, and you can hear that interview and see that tonight on Local 4 News at 11. Meantime, Donald Trump is in another key battleground state, Pennsylvania. He says the unrest in Charlotte hurts the black community. In his words, quote, makes America look bad to the world.
Well, thank you.
We're also on top of stories making headlines all around the world on your Thursday. Syria's president is blaming the United States for the collapse of that country's ceasefire. President Bashar al-Assad claims U.S. deadly airstrikes on Syrian troops were intentional and against the ceasefire agreement signed by both Russian and American diplomats. He also denied Syrian or Russian planes targeted a convoy. Following the Tuesday attack, the UN suspended aid deliveries after a dozen workers were killed. The UN resumed those humanitarian deliveries earlier today. It's also been an ugly election season in America, as we know, but things are really getting out of hand in the former Soviet Republic of Georgia. Take a look at your screen and look how crazy, oh my goodness, it's getting over there. 2 candidates for parliament actually start throwing punches during a political talk show. You can see some of the people on the staff trying to break them up. It started apparently with insults, but then things quickly escalated. The race has been heating up, leading to Election Day, which is just a few weeks away in Georgia, a former Soviet republic. Well, it is the end of an era here at Local 4 as news anchor Carmen Harlan has announced her retirement. Carmen has been at Local 4 for 38 years as a journalist, a co-worker, a friend, a mentor to so many of us here. She has decided to retire to spend more time with her family, including her adorable grandchildren. Now, do not worry, she is not leaving us right away. Her last newscast will be in mid-November, but she will be back for America's Thanksgiving parade. So a big congratulations to Carmen. You will be missed. Carmen Harlan, a total class act. All right, teens and tobacco. It looks like smoking isn't so cool anymore. We will look at a new health trend. Plus, many parents have to fight to get their younger kids to take a bath. Are you one of them? Well, you might be wasting your time. We'll be talking about that. Also, later, millions of Americans are waiting to see if their personal information has been put at risk. This is a developing story. We've got the latest. Kim.
This recreation center here in Detroit is being transformed, and it's going to benefit the people right here in Detroit. I'll explain how and what it's going to be transformed into.
Coming up all new on Local 4 News at 5 and 6.
Autographs from Nicholas Lindstrom, Patrick Waugh, Is Your Name Dave, or you missing a Bo Schembechler autograph? All of these items stolen, and there's more where this came from. Dearborn police want to give it back. The story on Local 4.
Oh, Ben, it's very hard to explain to your children, today's the first day of autumn. Wear your tank top and shorts to school.
That's right. I mean, we're doing everything we did in the summer.
I know, it's crazy.
For one more day.
Oh, you know what? Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, this is the end of it, because tomorrow's going to be a whole different look and feel. Got some sunshine out there with those high clouds, but these temperatures, I mean, look at this. This is 12 degrees above average across the area, 85 right now at Metro, matching temperatures at City Airport, Mount Clemens, and even when you get up here towards the thumb, 84 in Sandusky, Port Huron, you're at 82 degrees. Grosse Ile, the only spot that's not on the 80s party right now, you're at 78, but we mentioned that there's noticeable humidity out there. It's not terrible, but it is enough to give us a heat index. It's just a degree or two above our air temperatures in a lot of locations. So let's check out our satellite and radar. There is some action going on. Most of it's in northern lower Michigan, but thumb did get brushed with a shower earlier this afternoon. We're going to stay dry tonight, and then things start to change tomorrow, and this is the big game changer. This cold front that's lurking out here in northern Michigan. Behind that, that's where the real fall is residing, and it's going to set up shop here once we get into tomorrow and especially the upcoming weekend. So here's how things change tonight. We're going to see generally mostly cloudy skies. We'll wake up to dry conditions for the drive to work and school tomorrow. And as that front advances through the area, we're probably going to get a slight chance at a sprinkle. Not much more than that. There's not going to be a lot of moisture with this, but as the front sinks south, we will get the drier, the cooler air in here, and we're going to start to really notice it with some of these nights coming up as we head towards the upcoming weekend. 64, still unseasonably mild tonight, and we will see generally mostly cloudy skies. Here's your 4-zone forecast as we break down high temperatures tomorrow, which are going to look nothing like what we saw today. So this is more like what autumn feels like. Low and mid 70s here in our metro zone, 75 in Detroit. Trenton, you'll be at 76 along with Flat Rock. Our south zone tomorrow, similar numbers, maybe slightly warmer here, 78 in Dundee and Blissfield. Milan, you're going to check in at 77 tomorrow afternoon. And remember, just a sprinkle or two out there, and with that cold front coming from the north, we think our west zone, you're not going to get a chance to warm up as high as what we're going to see in our south and metro zones tomorrow. So 70 in Flint, Fenton, you're going to stop at 70. Clarkston, you'll be at 71. And those numbers just a little bit warmer down here with more chance to warm up before that cold front arrives. And ditto for the north zone. In fact, there'll be a lot of locations that don't get out of the 60s for high temperatures tomorrow. Yale, you're going to be at 68. Cool spot in Lexington and Sandusky at 67. And a smattering of 70s down here closer to M59. Very fall feeling weekend as we head towards Saturday and Sunday. 70 degrees for that high temperature on Saturday, slightly warmer on Sunday, but those morning lows, mid 50s in the city, and likely seeing a few 40s hanging around for Sunday start. And then next week doesn't look or feel a whole lot different. We just add some shower chances on both Monday and Tuesday. Karen?
All right, thank you very much, Ben. Good health. The CDC says teens seem to be losing interest in cigarettes and cigars. The percentage of teens who had ever tried cigarettes or cigars fell about 4% from 2012 to 2014. 11% of high school students said they had smoked cigarettes in the last 30 days, but 24% said they had used an e-cigarette, suggesting some of the interest is merely shifting to other forms of nicotine. Okay, so when it comes to kids, experts say bath night does not need to be every night. According to the American Academy of Dermatology, children ages 6 to 11 can get by with 2 or 3 baths a week. Shampooing their hair is only necessary once or twice a week. Kids should also bathe after swimming in an ocean or lake, or if they're sweaty, or of course if they've got body odor. Once children hit puberty, though, daily showers are recommended. Hope that helps you with some of your fights in your house. The mayor of Detroit calls it one of the historic jewels of the city, and now it will be a place where young people are preparing for jobs of the future. Local 4's Kim DeGiulio shows us the birth of a new urban campus that will help rebuild the Motor City.
Right now, you can find campuses for Cleary University in Howell, Ann Arbor, and Flint. But come January, this will be the newest campus for Cleary University, and it's right here in Detroit. The Little Rock Baptist Church, located on Woodward in Detroit's North End, has teamed up with the university to open this urban campus.
We're going to bring corporations down here, we're going to bring students down here, and we're going to help be a part of the Detroit comeback story.
The campus will be located inside of the Considine Recreational Center, which is one of many rec centers that the city walked away from nearly 10 years ago.
I remember when the Considine Recreation Center was a jewel of the city of Detroit.
This branch of Cleary University will focus on business and entrepreneurship education.
And this is the thing that drives Detroit right now, is business.
The collaboration is designed to get Detroit residents ready for the future of Detroit and ready to work as soon as possible.
Jobs are coming back to the city of Detroit in large numbers. We need to make sure Detroiters are qualified for the jobs.
There's 4,000 or 5,000 jobs coming in the next 3 years. We got to get these young people prepared.
The building will still remain a recreational center even after classes begin in January. For information on how to apply, you can visit clickondetroit.com. Reporting in Detroit, I'm Kim DeGiulio, Local 4.
A massive data breach is one of the stories trending right now. I'll tell you which company is under pressure after putting personal information at risk. And the Brad Pitt-Angelina Jolie breakup taking a disturbing turn this afternoon. New reports about something that happened on the couple's private plane.
My grandfather.
Trending this afternoon, one of the biggest names in the tech world has confirmed a massive data breach. Yahoo says at least 500 million users' accounts have been hacked. The information stolen includes names, passwords, birth dates of those Yahoo users. The company says credit card and bank account information stored in their system was not affected. Help Me Hank has posted data breach security advice for you at clickondetroit.com. You'll find that under the Consumer tab. Well, this letter has been trending on Facebook all day long. It was written by a 6-year-old boy to President Obama. The New York boy asked the president if his family could adopt a 5-year-old Syrian boy who was photographed in an ambulance after a bombing. President Obama shared the boy's letter to the United Nations when he addressed the UN on the refugee crisis. The boy's letter has already been shared more than 100,000 times. Well, this story is definitely trending this afternoon. We're talking about a blow-up on a private plane that might have led to the divorce filing between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. NBC News reports the Department of Children and Family Services in Los Angeles County is investigating an incident with one of his children on a private plane. Jolie filed for divorce one day after that alleged incident. The LAPD released a statement today saying there is currently no investigation involving Brad Pitt. Still ahead, one more story that's trending on Facebook. Talk about daddy's little girl. Wait until you see what this father is doing to raise a strong young woman. It's inspiring millions.
When death comes calling, it is the morgue investigators who answer.
They got a deceased person in the van behind their office backs here.
Trained in narcotics, rape, assault, homicide, working night and day, arriving just moments after the last breath is taken.
Death by violence, shooting, beating, stabbing, drowning, poisoning is a medical examiner case.
When, where, how did a person die? Morgue investigators hunt for evidence that can determine if it's a homicide or natural death. Meet those who bring answers to families desperate for closure tonight at 11.
Tubbies.
If you've been on social media the past day or so, you've probably seen this image, and it's a father-daughter duo. And the video is really inspiring so many people watching what this dad is teaching his 3-year-old.
Yeah, each morning they do a little mantra designed to build her self-esteem. Take a listen.
I am smart.
I am smart.
that I work hard.
I work hard.
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
Oh, at one point the father asks, what happens if you fall? She says, I get up. The video has been viewed more than 14 million times.
Wow.
I love it because I think so many daughters get their self-esteem from their fathers. They hear those positive words, and it really means a lot. So,
yeah, it's a very cool video.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We'll post it on our Facebook page too in case you missed it. Thank you for joining us for First at 4. Inside Edition is next.